ICP Algebra 1 Stir up here. I just wanted to go over our first lesson. This is in how we'll be doing the class for the time being. So think about what's an integer. Well, an integer is just like a number, 4, 7, 8, 3, 8. Examples of integers in the real world. These are your counting items. Okay, I mean, we can come up with all kinds of other real life things, but just think about integers as something that you're going to use to count. Okay, so addition, this just means we add. I mean, in this space, you've been doing addition probably since you got to school. It was just your way of counting up. And if you have the same signs, keep the sign. If you have different signs, then whatever the bigger value is would be the sign. So if you had, say, 10 plus 6, obviously that's 16. But if you had 10 plus negative 6, that would give you 4. But let's say you had negative 10 plus 6, that would give you negative 4, because this is our larger value. And if I had them both be a negative and I added them together, think of this as I'm buying something. So I see something that costs $10, you see something that costs $16 or $6, so I would owe $16. So those are just a few things to think about with that. Subtraction, same idea. This is just you're taking things away. But if you had just regular numbers, let's use, say, 10 and 5. 10 subtract 5 is 5. But what would happen if I had 10 subtract 5, or 10 subtract negative 5? These two signs here change to an addition. So this actually becomes 10 plus 5 as a problem, which is 15. Okay? But let's keep going. Let's say we had negative 10 minus 5. Well, that's going to be, we're going to continue to get more negatives, so that's negative 15. But let's say I also had, say, negative 10 minus negative 5. That's going to, again, you have the double negatives in a row, so that means that has to add. So this problem would change into negative 10 plus 5. So you see something that costs $10, you have $5 in your pocket, so you still owe $5. Multiplication. This has been going on for some time. Let's just pick two numbers. So let's say I have 4 and 3. If I multiply those together, I get 12. If I have 4 times negative 3, that would give me a negative answer. If I have negative 4 times 3, that also gives me a negative answer. And if you have two negatives that you're multiplying together, that would give you a positive number. And division's all kinds of things. So you might have had something like 10 divided by 2. That would have been written like this as well. And that would go 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract, it's 0. So your answer to this problem would just be 5. Another way that you could look at division would be as it is a fraction. Okay, the negatives still take place the same way. That'd be a negative 5. So just note that multiplication and division, if you have even number or 2 or 4 or 6 negative numbers, it would keep it positive. If you have an odd number of negatives, then the whole answer becomes negative. So order of operations. So these are your parentheses. They could also be square brackets. Exponents would be like if I had 7 to the 3rd. This right here is your exponent. Okay, it's the raised power. And then m is multiply. D is divide. These hold the same operation magnitude. You have addition. And then you have, and again, these have the same order. And when I say the same order, that means you do it right or left to right, just like you would read a book, left to right. So let's go ahead and practice. So the first one, it looks like we have some parentheses, so let's take care of that first. So that's just going to give me 6. notice I have it squared, then divided by 3 minus 4. So I took care of the parentheses first. Now I have an exponent, so we need to take care of this. Okay, 6 squared is 6 times 6, which is 36. And then you have division. Division is going to take place before the addition or subtraction. So how many times does 3 go into 36? 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 6 twice, and then the minus 4 comes down. So this gave me an answer of 12. And now this is addition and subtraction, so we'll do it from left to right. 6 plus 12 is 18. 18 minus 4 is 14. Again, we're still practicing. So notice we have parentheses. Inside the parentheses, we have exponents. We also have a division problem. So let's take care of this part first. 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So on top, I'm going to get 8 divided by 4 over 2 minus 12 plus 1. What's 8 divided by 4? Well, 8 divided by 4 is 2. And then 2 over the other 2 is that. What's 2 over 2? That's 1. So then I get 1, subtract 12 plus 1. Addition and subtraction, left to right. 1 subtract 12. You have $1, something costs $12, so you have $11 that you owe still, so negative 11. Plus the 1. Now you still owe $11. You find another dollar in another pocket, so now you owe $10. So think of a negative answer as like you would owe money. On these ones, we're just going to substitute in for the letters. So we have these variables up on top. We have what x is equal, y is equal, and z is equal. So we're just going to plug in what we know. So I have 2 squared on top. And then on bottom, I have 1 plus 5. On top, I have 2 squared, which is 4. On bottom, I have 1 plus 5, which is 6. And then we should look to reduce. 2 over 6 reduces to 2 over 3. 4 over 6 is 2 over 3. Okay, again, we're still going to be plugging in numbers. So I have this 2 up front that stays. Anytime I have 2 letters together, it means I'm going to be multiplying. So my x value is 1, and my y value is 2, plus my z value, which is 5, plus 4 times z. 4 times z is 4 times 5 over 2. Let's take care of what's inside the parentheses now. 1 times 2, that just gives me 2. 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 4 times 5 is 20, so I get 20 over 2. So that's going to give me 14 plus 20 over 2 is 10. So that's going to give me an answer of 24. Then we have the square root. We have a radical. Okay? So I have root 2. My y value is 2. And then I have 2 to the third. So these are being multiplied together, but I have to take care of the exponent first. So I'm going to take care of 2 to the third first. So 2 to the third, remember, is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Then I have 2 times 8 still underneath the radical or the square root sign. And does anyone know what the square root of 16 is? Yeah, it's 4. When we come across the distributor property, this sometimes can be a little tricky. Okay, I'm going to use the highlighter. Notice I have this negative 5 out in front. So that negative 5 gets distributed to both terms. So the 3 just comes down to the right. Negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. Negative 5 times 3x is negative 15x. These are like terms, so I can combine them. I can't combine the x with it because it's not a like term because it has an x with it. So I have $3. I see something that costs 20. So I have 17 that I owe minus the 15x. And this problem is done when it looks like that. Okay, there's no reason to go any further. Some students might ask, could I have this for an answer as well? And the answer is yes. Just make sure the signs that are preceding the number prior to the number, they get taken care of. This next problem, we have 2 different things we're distributing. Here, I'm going to distribute this half over here and here. And then I'm going to distribute this negative 4 here and here over the parentheses. Okay, so half of 20 is 10, so I get 10a. Half of 24 is 12. Negative 4 times 2a is negative 8a. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. The ones with the a's, those are like terms, so let's combine them. I have 10 a's and I have negative 8 a's. 10 minus 8 is 2, so I wind up with 2a. And then I have 12 and negative 4, so 12 subtract 4 gives me 8. And you also could have 8 plus 2a. Either answer would be appropriate. And that's it. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day. Take care of one another.